It is scallop time, and today we are doing
Coquille St. Jacques.
which is a French dish, of course. The dish is so important to them that they just call it scallops. It's basically scallops Rockefeller, if you will, but I'm gonna follow the traditional recipe and show you how to do it step by step today. It's super easy and freaking fabulous, and I'm sure you've probably never had it before, so let's get into it. First, I've got a hot pan. I'm gonna throw a nice chunk of butter in that pan, and then I'm just gonna let it cook down until it's liquefied. First thing in with your butter, of course, is some beautiful chopped up shallots. Number one, butter, then your shallots. I'm just gonna sprinkle them in. I'm gonna let these shallots sweat out until they become a little translucent. It's not gonna take that long. Now, after I have added the shallots and sweat them down, in come your mushrooms. These are just white mushrooms. I pull the stems off and I do just the heads and slice them at about 1/4 of an inch. Now, after you've added your mushrooms, now you're just gonna keep it, I've got it at a perfect medium right now on a steel pan, and I'm just gonna slowly incorporate. Now I'm gonna keep stirring these every 30 seconds, every minute or so. All right, now that we've hit that perfect golden color, it's time for the white wine. Now you can use any kind of white wine you want. The best white wine is your favorite white wine. For me, it's Albarino. I discovered this stuff in Puerto Rico when we lived there for about 3 years. It's a Spanish wine. It's very popular in Puerto Rico. I don't know anyone who knows about it in the States, but I freaking love it. Now remember, we're gonna be poaching the scallops in this, so it's not like a measurement. It's enough to make sure that you have enough to poach your scallops. So that's gonna be good. It's gonna cover about half. I'm gonna add a little bit more just to be safe. And now I'm gonna crank up that temperature. I'm gonna bring the temperature back up. You're poaching, so it's very important that your wine is boiling, at least on the sides, all the way around, that it's nice and hot before you add those in, okay? So we're gonna start mixing here, incorporate all these good flavors. Now it's scallop time. Look at these beautiful scallops. I've pat them dry. These are sea scallops, so they're the larger scallops. Bay scallops are the small ones. These are the sea scallops. So now I'm just gonna gently place them in, one at a time. After about a minute, or you can feel it, you can kind of feel when it gets about twice as dense, you flip it, but we're poaching about a minute on each side if you need to keep your eye on a clock, but go with your fingers. And the great thing about this dish is you can't really mess it up. You're not gonna overcook it with a light poach or the final broil at the end. So it's almost impossible to mess this dish up, which is also why it makes it so great. A lot of people are a little intimidated by scallops, but scallops are actually super simple, and this is one of the best examples of how to prepare them. So it's basically been a minute. I'm just gonna start in and go with a flip on all of them. I'm just gonna work my way from one side of the pan to the other so I don't miss them. I go up and down. You're poaching it. You're kind of cooking it all through, but the broiling at the end can really help it out and finish it off. Less is more. You don't wanna overcook them. So if these suckers have been in this pot more than like 4 minutes, even if you don't know or you don't think they're done, they're done. Pull them out. Now that they're poached, they're perfectly done. In the world of fish or scallop, I'd call it medium rare. Maybe rare, but probably like a medium rare. I'm gonna get them out of the heat, separate them from the sauce. And get these separate here. One at a time. You wanna be really gentle. As they start cooking, they become really delicate. Now, when I pop these out, this is a good time to turn on your broiler. You want to make sure that your grate is up high, and that your boiler is on high. So you want to preheat your boiler, turn it on, let it hit temp, and make sure that when you slide these suckers in for the final product, that they're as close as they can, so they can get that beautiful caramelization, that sear, boil down the mushrooms, boil down the cheese. All right, one more in here. All right, so now I'm gonna turn off the heat. Now we have this beautiful sauce. Look at that. All right. Now, I've got a colander and a bowl. What we're gonna do now is I'm going to separate gonna strain out the liquid from the mushrooms. I got my beautiful reduction here, my beautiful wine reduction. Now I'm gonna put the pan back on medium high. I'm gonna add the strained liquid back in. Wonderful. Start letting it hit the temp. Next up, heavy cream. I don't really have a measurement for this. You just kind of eyeball it. So I'm going for a cup. I'm making 6 of these dishes, 6 finished scallops. This is a pretty large dish, and this is a lot of fluid, but I think it's actually gonna be just enough. Now that we've mixed these in, I'm gonna start adding in my spices, and then I'm gonna cook it down to about a 50% reduction until it's a little gooey, till it has about the viscosity of like teriyaki sauce. This is a large dish, I'm making for 6, so you don't need usually as much, but this is the lemon zest for an entire lemon. Whole zested lemon. And now fresh tarragon. I'm gonna sprinkle in the tarragon, nice fresh tarragon. Oh man, that smell, that beautiful kind of fennel-esque smell mixed in with the heavy cream. Look at that. I'm gonna slowly let this cook down. Now, at this point, as you've got your main ingredients cooking down, then you're gonna season to taste. You wanna make sure your flavor profile is great in here before you reincorporate all the ingredients together. So I'm just gonna give it a little taste. Of course, I haven't added any salt. Oh my God, it's already delicious. So first, I'm gonna go in with a bit of flake salt. Not gonna go too much, I'm gonna work my flavor profile up. So now that it's boiling, I'm gonna do a sprinkle of cayenne. Nice little coating there. Another little extra step. I've got my separated scallops here. You see that juice forming? Let's add that in. Let's add that in for bonus. Woo, not yet, buddy. Add in that beautiful scallop juice. Now I'm gonna bring the temperature back up a little bit. And now we're gonna work that reduction until it's about 50% reduced. See how you're getting that delay? I want that delay to last just a little bit longer. When I bring the sauce over this, you see how it just falls off? I want it to stick more. Look at that. See, that's the parting of the seas right there. That's what we want to see. All right, now it's time to put it all together. First, I'm gonna carefully spoon my shallot mix, fill the base, leave a little space for your scallop here. Fill that bottom up and set it down. I did this all by eye. I didn't measure anything out. I just kept in my head, what's it gonna look like to make 6? So we'll see if I run out or how much I have to spread things. But I think we're pretty good to go. I think it's like just enough. We'll see. Now we've got our room temperature scallop. They've been hanging out for a while, so I'm just gonna come in with my hands and I'm gonna do 3 on each one. I'm gonna try to size them up so size-wise, they all look the same. Kind of 1 big one or 3 even. As long as you got about the same weight of meat on there. Boom, beautiful. Now that I've placed the scallops over the mushroom and shallot mix, I'm gonna lightly pour this beautiful sauce we've made over it all. Nice and even. You don't need a whole bunch, but you want everything to be covered. Look how beautiful. Oh, the smell of the tarragon and the cream. This is out of control. Look at this, just gorgeous. Okay, now that I've put our beautiful sauce over, I'm gonna add some cheese. Now you don't wanna put a lot of cheese, you don't want melting pools of cheese. Traditionally, you use Gruyère, whatever the hell you wanna call it, but I've got the 2-year aged Gouda. I've been waiting for a reason to use it, so I've shaved it nice and thin, and I'm just gonna layer it over everything. Not too much, but just enough so when it melts, you get that perfect look. All right, now that I've got my beautifully shaved Gouda covering the top, nice and easy, not too much. Look, it is oven time. I'm gonna pop these in the broiler and pull them when they look just right. All right, now that I've pulled them out of the oven, you've got to very carefully place them on your dish. You got to be really careful Broil is like 500 degrees, so make sure not to burn yourself. All right, they have been plated. 500 degree pan, tap that aside. Now we're gonna just finish them off the good old fashioned way. I'm gonna do a little fresh tarragon, crisscrossed, just like back in the day. And there you have it.
Coquille St. Jacques.
It doesn't get better than this. The French call this dish scallops. That's how good this bad boy is. I can't wait to dig in. Let's do it. Look at this fluffy perfection. Look at the cream. Look how, oh, it's not even overcooked. It's perfectly cooked. All right, here we go. Gotta get that perfect bite. Some of the mushrooms, some of the sauce. That works. That is so delicious. I can't even describe it to you. There's nothing fishy about it. It's soft, it's got great texture, it's salty, it's sweet, it's a little briny. I'm blown away. Let me get one more bite here. That is fantastic. Recipe in the description. Subscribe for more. You got this.